So our next guest on this episode, he has a nice little vocal number called Give You Everything, featuring the vocal talents of Laura Proudman. We've got Ashley, aka DJ Komatose. Ashley, how you doing, mate?
Hi Lee, I'm very well, thanks mate, how are you?
Yeah, really good. Thank you for coming on the show today. This is the first time we've had kind of a face-to-face together as well, haven't it? Apart from speaking on the phone generally. So nice to make your acquaintance properly. And thank you for the track, mate. It's an absolute banger. How did it all come about?
I think the track came before the vocals. I think I kind of had a style that I wanted to go for in that kind of like deep, dark, sub-rollery kind of way. And even to a point I knew that I wanted a female vocalist on it. It's kind of inspired by an NI track called Save Me featuring Charlie Bricks. That's the one that's
I know the one.
inspired by. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to go down that kind of route. And yeah, my cousin Laura, she's a pretty good singer. So I was like, yeah, we'll get her involved in the track. I sent her the track over, and she originally sent me the original vocals on a voice note, and I used them to build the track around, and then it just went from there. And then a couple of months later, we finally got her in the studio to re-record them, so that sounded better.
Brilliant stuff. Well, obviously it is a banger of track, and how useful is that, having a singer in the family as well? A lot of producers always say to me it's one of the hardest things trying to find a good singer, and you've just got one that you've grown up with basically.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty lucky, but I mean, her brother Andy is also the guy who taught me to mix, got me into drum and bass. So it's kind of all rolls in the family a lot.
Brilliant stuff. And you reside in Birmingham, don't you? Whereabouts are you living in Birmingham?
That's right. So at the moment, South Birmingham, so Northfield, Longbridge kind of area. I've been
Ah,
in this side of the city most of my life, apart from a few years stint that I did up in Leeds.
okay. Was that university or something like that?
Yeah, I did 2 years studying music technology at Leeds University before dropping out.
Oh, fair play, mate. Did you get what you needed though? I mean, it sounds like you have.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think the realization that coming out with a degree in, music technology was not going to get me, the career that I wanted to. It wasn't, it's a more of a hands-on industry. You got to get your hands dirty if you want to get involved. So that's
Yeah,
what I did.
absolutely. Fair play to you, mate. Yeah, I know the area of Birmingham well, just to touch on where you're from. I moved to Birmingham in 2007, and I was living up in Rednall, Rubery for quite a while. So
Okay.
obviously was some of the pubs around those ends where you are, those were my haunts as well back then as well. So, and then yeah, I've only just recently moved out of Birmingham, so I did quite a long stint there as well. But me and you have obviously almost like cross paths in a way in a lot of the clubs as well. We've been playing for the same promoters. I believe you've got some big gigs forthcoming as well, haven't you, in the city?
Yeah, so I'm playing Made Festival in a couple of weeks. Really looking forward to that one. It's my first ever festival, so I'm really excited to sink my teeth into that one. That's for RCE on the home base stage. So yeah, really excited for that.
Fantastic. Yeah, Made Festival, definitely a premier festival in the country. And what I love about this year is they're taking it back into Digbeth City Centre. Well, Digbeth Centre, aren't they? Not City Centre, really, but Digbeth Centre, and getting it back in the streets as opposed to having the big field in Wolverhampton, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, back in the Digbeth Triangle. So I haven't. I'll be honest and say that I haven't actually been to a Made Festival before. I'm not really a big festival goer on the whole. Um, I've been to a couple of smaller day festivals, but not even in the drum and bass genre. It's more of like a rock genre. So I've
Yeah.
been to Slam Dunk Festival, a day festival. That was really good. But yeah, I've not actually been to Made Festival before.
Fair play. Well, I think this will definitely change you for the better. Made does have a tendency to do that. It is a lot of fun, a lot of fun. So another Birmingham, well, not Birmingham, another West Midlands resident that we've actually interviewed for this podcast is Carl Sonication, who actually has a track with you on this release, and he's also playing some of the same events. Have you ever crossed paths with Carl Sonication? Do you know who he is?
Yeah, I do. Me and Cole know each other very well. We're actually on the same team for RCE. So we're on that promotion team. So we're running events together. I think he handles the social media management side of things, and I'm more of a techie. doing the websites and the mail outs and that sort of thing.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I thought obviously you two mine have crossed paths when I was interviewing him as well earlier on this week. So obviously you've got a lot of gigs coming up in the local area. I do keep seeing you on all the major flies for that over the last couple of years. Has this just kind of crept up since the pandemic then? Is that when you kind of started playing for some of the bigger promotions and things like that?
Yeah, I would say the pandemic was pretty much like restarting of my drum and bass career. I've been doing it for a long time, but when the pandemic hit, I was furloughed for 9 months. So I just had nothing to do. So I got back into producing. I was doing like weekly streams on Facebook, doing DJ streams. And I think I just got picked up from there. And since then, I've just got, you know, a little bit more popularity and my name's got about. And now I think I've been going to a lot more raves than I used to as well. So that's helping, like putting face to names and stuff like that, and meeting the local promoters. I think that's really helped.
Yeah, it's invaluable. Me and funnily enough, Cole Sonication was talking about this, that, you know, if you really want to get gigs, you know, forget just dropping messages on Facebook and being lazy. You've got to get your face there, haven't you? So they can physically meet you in person, and doing that networking. It's probably the most valuable thing, is getting the gigs, isn't it? Getting out there. Absolutely,
yeah. And I can't stress it enough, really, that it's really impersonal to promoters to just get a message saying, have you got any gigs? Have you got any? When you've never spoken to them before in your life, the best thing to do is to get yourself down to the gigs that you want to play and show your support.
That's it. I mean, before there was Facebook, you know, when I was coming up DJing, that's exactly what I had to do. I was traveling the lengths and the breadths of the country, you know, as far and wide. If there was an event I wanted to play at, I'd turn up and I'd speak to the promoter and just show some support for it. And obviously it's not changed now. We've just got other ways we can try and do it, which are obviously a lot lazier, but they're not going to have the same effect at all, are they? So about that time in 2021 as well, this is when you started having your first releases on Drippy Boy and Hot Q as well. How long had you been producing before those releases then, Ashley?
So I've been producing quite a long time now. I was in my teens when I first started, so probably about 15 or 16 when I first started. I mean, they weren't very good, I would say. But that's when I first started. It was like using Reason and that kind of Reason 3, so really quite early. I'd had a couple of releases prior to 2021, but they weren't at a good enough level. Now I look back to have had them released, and they were few and far between in the space of about 7 or 8 years. I think I had 3. So I think since 2020 and the pandemic, I've had just a lot more consistency and a better way of working, and my output's just been a lot more steady. It's kind of tailed off recently because I've been quite busy, but yeah, the output is still a lot more than it used to be a few years ago.
That's good. And obviously we've crossed paths when you submitted some music to us. I mean, this is not the only track that's actually going to be appearing on Dirtbox this year. We actually have a Komatose EP as well, don't we, later on?
Yeah, looking forward to that one. I think it's another couple of tracks, is it? Yeah, really excited to get there, mate.
Yeah, so we have a big project, obviously, we're going to announce for this. Komatose will have his own EP. But yeah, let's get this one out of the way first, because there's definitely plenty to come. And I'm sure you've got some other music lined up as well with other labels this year.
I think I'm in talks with a few, none that have had like the dotted line signed yet. I'm still a bit backwards and forwards on a couple of tunes and trying to make our minds up what tunes fit where. So just going through the process at the moment. Like I said, my output in the last 6 months probably hasn't been up to the standard that it was before. But I'm still working on scheduling a couple for the later on in the year.
Great to hear. Great to hear. Well, without further ado, let's get straight into the track then and have a listen. This is the listening party after all. This is Gave You Everything by Komatose and Laura Proudman. There you have it. An absolute phenomenal banger of a track. Can't get my words out there. This is going to be appearing on one of the 2 Vibe City albums out this September. So great stuff we've heard about, obviously the vocal, Ashley, and obviously this being on the album. What does it mean to you to be on a project like this that we're doing?
That's quite exciting. I mean, even the artwork and everything is really like a massive high standard. So yeah, really excited to show it all, to show it to everyone. Yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon to be involved.
Brilliant. And we are, it's likewise as well, mate. So good to have you on here. This track definitely takes a little bit of a twist to some of the others. We've got a lot of different flavors happening on this album. Even though it is like a liquid vibe, this one does go into a bit of a deeper, darker territory through the track, but with an uplifting vocal, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think that tends to be my typical style. Even for my like liquid style tracks, there always seems to be some darker element to it. That's just the type of drum and bass that I'm into. I'm really inspired by like Amos, Enai, as I've already said, Kazra too. So that kind of really deep, dark stuff really like stands out for me.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah, and obviously lots of this to come as well. So what's the future plans this year then, gig wise and obviously music wise? Can you announce any releases, any labels, or any gigs, maybe some international bookings, anything outside of the West Midlands area?
Not at the moment. I mean, I haven't been fortunate enough yet to play any international bookings. I'm hoping they come. So if anyone wants to book me for international, get at me. I've got a couple of EPs coming out later, but because I haven't signed on the dot yet, I can't really say much about those at the moment.
All tongue-in-cheek at the moment. We'll keep it quiet for now, but keep a listen out for obviously what Ashley's got in store, because this Dirtbox release he's got is absolutely phenomenal too. Listen, we'll leave it at that. Ashley, thank you so much for your time, mate. I can't wait to actually meet you in person. We're taking one step at a time, phone call, video meeting. We've got to meet in person next. That's the next key, isn't it?
That sounds good to me.
Brilliant. Lovely stuff. Thanks again, Ashley. Thank you for the track. I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, cheers, Lee. Nice one, mate.
What's up, everyone? Lee UHF here, the host of DNB Wraps. Thank you for watching our videos. If you like what you're hearing and seeing on the channel, please make sure you're subscribing to it. Please make sure you thumbs up the videos, and more importantly, let's get some comments going as well. It really helps the channel, and in order for us to provide this content to you, we do need the channel to grow. So we can't do this without your help. Hope you enjoy the video. Speak to you soon.